So before we do get started, I do just have to say for the record, no, I did not choose to make this video because the Carter 6 was ass. But yet, I did end up wanting to make this video after I found out the Carter 6 was ass. And that's not even the main reason why. Because at least when it came to the Carter 6, which just came out recently, while yes, I'm not the biggest fan of it, it just made me still go back and just re-listen to old Wayne songs. And I just wanted to kind of take some time to just put some acknowledgement here as to a man who is and was the GOAT for the longest time. Like, there's no denying just how big of not just a rapper but a star that Lil Wayne was. Because there's just so many Wayne songs and there's so many Wayne projects, I kind of wanted to just talk about just songs that I grew up with personally, a couple more recent ones, but it's mainly just ever since I kind of really started listening to hip-hop music. These songs in particular were standouts, whether those were massive hits or whatnot. And as far as hits go, I think a hit of Lil Wayne's that, even though I think it's one of his biggest, I feel like has just gone underneath the radar as of recently. Like, nobody talks about this song and just how big of a song it was, but that'd be the song right above it off of I'm Not a Human Being. You're gonna notice that there's a lot of Wayne and Drake songs on here, because Wayne and Drake, man, like, they were something special. I don't want to be a fucking old man when I say this, but you had to be there. As nostalgic as I am for Uzi and Cardi, Wayne and Drake, man, like, they ran that shit for like, they had a whole fucking 5-year run of just making nothing but fucking bangers, man. Right above it is one of their biggest hits together, and just like the biggest thing with this song was how much of a celebration this like song sounded like. You cannot go and look at a basketball or a football montage without hearing this song. This sounded like the opening to fucking the Super Bowl. Like, if you just ever accomplish something huge in life, just play right above it, because that instrumental, like, it's gonna hit you so hard, bro. And I guess as far as I'm Not a Human Being 2 goes, this album I'm also a little nostalgic for it, because when this album came out, this was like, there was like, you couldn't escape several of these songs off of here, like especially on Vine. At least my favorite song on here goes, it's got to be No Worries. This was one of the biggest songs. This was one of the bigger songs off of I'm Not a Human Being 2. I just like the energy that Wayne brings. He just sounds like he's having so much fucking fun. Detail, I do like him on the hook. You know, that's cool. The beat, it's cool. I don't know, but mainly I kind of just come back to the song mainly just for Wayne's energy. Of course, I can't talk about this project without talking about the biggest song off of this project, and that's Love Me. Which, this song, man, I feel like this song is really nostalgic to me. I know it's a bit of a meme, but when the hook starts at the very beginning and you hear Future come in, like, oh my gosh, I don't know what way to describe it, but it hits, man. It hits me. I remember being in middle school and you could not escape this song. You could not escape that hook. Future was so fucking great on here. Drake was also good on here. But honestly, the best part about that hook was Future. And while I do feel nostalgia for the song itself, I'm not too crazy about outside of the hook. And, you know, the subject matter, it's just, well, sex, really. My biggest complaint with this song, though, I wish he gave up one of those verses and gave, like, I guess Drake a spot. I think Drake would have worked pretty well on this song and did something pretty cool. Sure, you could have given the verse to Future as well, but I think he just does wonders already on the hook. And I think this may have been like my first like big exposure to Future. And while I will say yes, for this video I am going to be talking mostly about the past of Wayne's discography, even though I think Wayne hasn't made a good album since 2018, and his output in general has just been not that great in general. I can't lie. One of the more recent kind of singles, which came out, I think in 23 or 22, I don't recall, but the song Kant Nobody, I think is probably Wayne's best song that he's put out since Carter 5. And it surprised me how I do really like the energy that Wayne brings to the song, as well as just he really does feel like he's putting effort into the song. The beat is great. I do like the DMX sample. I don't quite get why in the song title it says featuring DMX when it is used more as a sample. But man, I mean, RIP to DMX, but like if he was around and he was able to make some sort of verse on this song, man, it would have been so great. Even though Wayne hasn't put out a good project or that great in his own discography as of the past 5 years, this song is a big standout. And then I guess speaking of the Carter 5, and I don't quite recall the exact story as to why it took so long for him to release the album. I think it was something due to his record label not wanting to release it, as well as he had some sort of beef with Birdman. I will say, off the regular bass album as it is, my favorite song on here is Used To. And like I said, the energy just on the song, like it's great, man. Like I know I've mentioned that with a lot of Wayne songs already, but like his energy on here I think is way different. Like he feels way more aggressive on this beat, which is why I like it. The beat really calls for the aggression, and you don't get anything as aggressive as this on the album. Maybe in a bit of his verse on Mona Lisa, from what I remember. And that's the other thing with the Carter 5, is that even though it's not a perfect album, I do give some leeway towards the album and give it a bit of sympathy points, mainly just because of how long it did take for Wayne to put this album out and how he had been working on it just all throughout those years. And once he was able to release it, there were songs that he had recorded like back when he was initially going to be releasing it. For example, Mona Lisa, when that was recorded back in 2015, around the time when To Pimp a Butterfly was coming out. Some parts felt a little old and some parts felt a little new, and I had to give a little bit of leeway to the album. I know most people are going to be thinking I'm going to be talking about Mona Lisa, but I'm actually not. As much as I do like Mona Lisa, there is one song that I think is just overall, in my opinion, better than Mona Lisa. As much as I love Mona Lisa, I gotta give, I think probably like the best song on here, not my favorite song off here, but the best song on here has to be the outro track, Let It All Work Out. Throughout a little bit of the album, Wayne's mom kind of pitching in, talking about how much he does love her son and his life, and how much in parts of his life, as well when he did try to kill himself at a young age. This song being the one where he does go into that story a little bit more, and a lot of the times when he was depressed, I think is a great way to kind of tie the album all together, and just overall, like, I think it's really moving when he does talk about when he did try to eventually kill himself when he was younger. Sampha's voice on the hook, I don't know if it's a sample or if he recorded it for the song, but Sampha on here, like his voice, like it hits your heart like even harder when he's just saying let it all work out, because no matter how depressed you are, let God work it out. It'll be all right, essentially. It's kind of the whole message of the song, and that's why I think this song is just, it's perfect. But as well, I gotta say this with the Carter 5, the deluxe to this album I think is actually kind of underrated. I think the deluxe kind of snuck past some people. Not a lot of people really talked about the deluxe, but the deluxe had some bangers on here. And to me, my favorite song on the deluxe, I don't know if I like it better than Used To, just in my personal enjoyment, but I might. But the song Scottie is just, I love this song. I think while he does come at this song aggressive, not as aggressive as he's used to, but aggressive in the sense of him just being lyrical on this song, and then as well with the beat, where I don't know what way to describe the beat. Like I think there's a sample on here that just sounds so familiar. I don't know what it is about this beat, but it makes the song sound so familiar. I can't exactly put my finger on it, but if there is a sample on Scottie and anyone knows what it is, let me know, because that shit has been bugging me ever since the song came out, and I'm too lazy to actually look it up. So, and then as well, when he was initially going to be releasing the Carter 5, he did release a couple singles that I'm actually quite a big fan of, actually. Both singles did also feature Drake. My favorite one out of the two being Believe Me. I love that beat. I will say this song does feel more like a Drake song rather than a Wayne song, but that doesn't really bother me, because either way, Drake is great on here, and I think he's great on the hook. He's great in his verse. Wayne, same thing. I do also like how kind of halfway through the song, there is a bit of a beat switch to where it slows down a bit, and probably my least favorite part's that third portion, when once they're done rapping, then it kind of drags out, and the beat's much slower until the song just eventually ends. So I don't quite get the decision behind that, but it's not necessarily something that ruins the song for me at all. And then the other song featuring Drake, Grindin, a song that I think not a lot of people really paid attention to. Not a lot of people, I don't even know if people really noticed that the song came out, but this song is great to me. I'm gonna go back to the beat as well. The beat on here, I think, is actually the beat on here. I don't know who produced it, but my favorite thing about this song has to be the drums. I don't know what it is about the bass, but there's something that's mixed into the bass, and it makes it hit even harder. I don't know exactly what it is, but just something in that bass, like it hits harder in the headphones, it hits harder in the car than I have heard compared to like any other song, really. And on the song, I really do like Wayne on here. I do like Drake on here. They both give great verses. I will say that first portion of the hook where Wayne is just saying grinding, that's my least favorite part about the song. But then when the other part, when it's the actual hook, I actually do enjoy that hook much more than the part where he's just saying grinding, really. Of course, I can't go this video without talking about Wayne's best album ever. I understand why some people would say the Carter 2, and as much as I do like the Carter 2, it's actually the Carter 3. I know it's his most popular album. I mean, whether if you do want to look at the countless hits that are on here, just, man, it's crazy. You want to go into something like Lollipop or even Miss Officer. Miss Officer is a funny song to me. Miss Officer is a little corny, a little dated, but I don't mind it. That's the charm of it to me. Like, it's sexy, but it's like sexy for like 2008 sexy, you know what I mean? As much as I love the song, as much as I'll sing along to the song, you're not gonna catch me being in the sheets to Miss Officer. And of course, like, you can't forget about probably Wayne's most popular song off of this album, or just in general, which I would probably give it to a Milli. I think a Milli is more popular than Lollipop, but a Milli, I think it deserves every praise that this song, has gotten over the years. I mean, that beat is great. The bass on here still hits crazy. I do love that sample. I don't remember the name of the song, but where they take the part when the guy says a Milli and slows it down and lowers the pitch, which is what ends up becoming the loop throughout the song. And that's what I think is great about just the Carter series in general, outside of Carter 6. Like, The Carter series was cemented. Like, this was the series in Wayne's discography where I think this was purposefully so he could just go all out and just go absolutely insane lyrically. Those two songs that I mentioned for Carter 3 ain't even my favorite songs off here. I gotta say, my favorite song off Carter 3 has to go to Dr. Carter. I love this song, mainly just for the concept of Wayne being this doctor, and he is trying to save these rappers from dying, or these just lame rappers from dying, and just trying to make them succeed, essentially. And I think just his lyrics on the song in general are super creative of how he is essentially doing an operation on a patient, but as well he'll tie it into aspects of rapping throughout the song. Like, yeah, he's unable to save the first patient, he's unable to save the second patient, but then the third patient he's able to save. I think just overall the song itself, it is, I think in my opinion, probably Wayne's most creative song, a song that I do go back to just solely for the creativity of it all. And that of course brings us to, in my opinion, what's actually the second best Carter album, the Carter 4. The biggest hit off this album, 6 Foot 7 Foot. It's one of his most popular songs, and I think it's well deserved. The beat, it goes crazy. I think Wayne on this song, just with all the one-liners that he has, it's at an all-time peak on this song, man. The amount of quotables on this song is just, it's crazy to me. Life is a bitch, death is a sister, sleep as a cousin, what a fucking family picture. Oh my gosh, dude. Black and white diamonds, fuck segregation. Woman of my dreams, I don't sleep so I can't find her. I beat the beat up, call it self-defense. Bitch, real G's move in silence like lasagna. Like, I had to think about that one for a solid minute, man. Now, I do have one issue with the song though, and that's Cory Gunz. Now, don't get me wrong, Cory Gunz is great on the song. He's great, but like, to me, his verse is so pointless on this song. Not because it's bad, but because Wayne goes fucking ridiculous on this song to where it's like, why would you bother putting a feature on there? You could put literally anyone else in that feature slot, and I'm gonna say the same thing. I mean, outside of that song, I mean, one of my favorite songs off Carter 4 has to go to President Carter. I am a big fan of the beat on here. I'm a big fan, as you know, of darker beats. That the piano does a great job on here. I like the sample of, I believe it's Jimmy Carter's inauguration, and I do like how there's a subtle kind of message of politics in here. But there is one song off the Carter 4 that I can't help but I have to mention. It is my favorite Wayne and Drake collab, and it is my favorite Lil Wayne song of all time, and that's none other than She Will. And like I said already, I love dark instrumentals, and this he fucking kills it on here. While Lil Wayne doesn't have as many great one-liners on here as he does on 6 Foot 7 Foot, he still has some fucking great ones. I do love I'm all about give the rest of the vowels back. They say choose wisely, that's why I was chosen. But my favorite one has to be I like my girl thick, not just kind of fine. Eat her till she cry, call that wine and dine. Like, and I will say I am kind of happy that Drake does not have a verse on here. He could have easily done it, but I like him better as he is on the hook. So Lil Wayne, man, he was something special. And like I said, I know I could go through so many other songs, especially from Carter 2 or Carter 1, but like Wayne being in here as long as he has been, like, it's like damn near impossible for me to go through all of those songs of his. I know people are starting to paint this narrative right now that Lil Wayne sucks. Let's not get fucking twisted. Like, you got to get your shit straight, because even though Carter 6 was not a good album in the slightest, and as horrible as I'm gonna still die on this hill by saying that Lil Wayne is one of the GOATs. He's one of the greatest rappers to ever do it, and there's absolutely no denying it.
Before I let you piss me off, I'll pee on myself.